Notre Dame has picked up a new commitment in the 2025 class. We're going to talk about it with Blue and Gold analyst Tim Hyde. And of course, before we dive into it, folks, hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more Notre Dame content. Of course, we have a lot more of this news at blueandgold.com, or on this news, I should say. Dominik Hulak, 6'3", 225 pounds, from Chicagoland, Immaculate Conception High School. Three-star linebacker, nation's number 448 overall player, number 44 linebacker, according to the On3 industry ranking. A high school junior, so he's in the 2025 class and gives Notre Dame 8 commitments in the junior cycle. So the Irish off to a good start there. So Tim will dive into this commitment a little bit more, how these things, how this came together and whatnot. But when you just pop on the film, what do you think about Dom Hulak?
Well, I look at two of his offers, Wisconsin and Iowa, and he looks like a dude, an all Big Ten football player that could go play at those two schools. Because, talking about the respect I have for some of their great linebackers that they've had, recently at those two powers. He is a good looking football player, Mike. I'm talking athletic at tight end, a Mike Backer. You see him on the edge. Look at the explosiveness. He's, and I told you, when we were going to do this, like, he reminds me a ton of Josh Burnham, just the athleticism. Then when you see him run in his pursuit, a lot of Bodie Cajon, who's a great lacrosse player, and the way he runs to the ball. So I see him being either a stand-up guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just grows even to a thicker role and can play down, kind of like what we're seeing with Josh Burnham in that role this year. I think he's one of those hybrid type of guys that could play a Viper, a Mike, or just grow into a DN. Really good looking football player.
Yeah, that's interesting. You bring up a couple interesting points. Burnham played all over the field, right? Some tight end, quarterback, linebacker. Hulak, the first play of his film, you see him at tight end. You see him a good bit of tight end here, and then some linebacker, right, rush end. And Burnham comes to Notre Dame as a linebacker, and he's already moved to defensive end. And so that point tied in with your other point of you could just see him being this versatile defensive player. Well, that's kind of my understanding about coming to Notre Dame is, to play a role like that Marist role where he's playing all over the front seven, getting after the quarterback a lot, playing some linebacker. That's my understanding of where they envision Hulak playing. Tim, your take there is pretty spot on with what I'm told that Notre Dame kind of sees him. So yeah, nice pickup for the Irish here. Any other thoughts on this film as we continue to watch it, Tim?
I mean, he's violent as could be. He's a powerful football player. I was blown away. I mean, as I found his updated junior film. We always watch sophomore film, and you're like, all right, you're 2 years away. But you watch this junior film, boom, pops out. So he did a heck of a year developing himself in the weight room, speed, and then just turned it on as obviously as a junior. Yeah. When you mentioned Maris obviously could play inside backer. He's the outside guy. He's the rusher. He's the drop guy. He plays spy a lot. And you can see these things with Dominik as well. And when I mentioned Burnham, how Burnham's already moved down, because I just think he's going to be a heck of a DN. I can see him doing that as well, just because when you see him on film, he looks
huge.
He's huge. The first guy I thought about, I'll be honest with you, was Brendan Vernon. He looked like a Brendan Vernon playing linebacker. Just the way Brendan just ran on film and his aggressiveness and powerful explosiveness to the ball that Brendan had. And he reminded me of a Brendan Vernon linebacker. Yeah. So he's got a couple of these guys to where he's very, very versatile. And it is awesome when you recruit an athlete that has multiple spots. It's going back to the old Lou Holtz days when he just loaded up on running backs and DBs and found spots for him all over the place. And, you could see this guy playing a handful of spots, not a tight end, but you see his athleticism and his versatility when he plays offense, the slot, things of that nature out there. So yes, his film is really nice. This is one of the, another thing is like going back to Bodie Cajon, who's in that same ranking number, in the 400, so to speak, where when you watch these guys, you're like, these are damn good football players. So
Yeah.
I really, really like this kid.
Yeah. Just a note real quick. The offense's jerseys here might be the most horrendous looking things I've ever seen. And then this quarterback for the other team, look at this guy, is massive. Goodness gracious. But yeah, Hulak, we have him listed at 225. That's got to be
There's
old.
no
Like
way.
he looks
There's no way.
240, dude. That's a big, he looks big. So Notre Dame at, like I said, 8 commits now in the 2025 class, with Hulak joining quarterback Deuce Knight, tight end James Flanagan, running back Justin Thurman, and running back Brian Anderson. And or excuse me, Daniel Anderson from Bryan, Arkansas. And then you've got some defensive line commits already. Joseph Reif from another Chicago kid, also from Elmhurst, by the way. So that's 2 kids from Elmhurst, Illinois, west of downtown Chicago. Davion Dixon from Miami, and then who's a 6'3", 305-pounder. CJ May, a tweener right now between Viper and strong side end. I think will probably bulk up. That's more likely that you're going to add on weight than take it off as you continue to grow in high school. So Notre Dame already has 3 defensive linemen committed. It's interesting, do they classify Hulak more as a defensive end or a linebacker, for their numbers? I don't know, but we can at least call it 4 pass rushers already committed. And they could take, I don't know, if they do see more of Hulak as coming towards linebacker numbers, do they take 2 more defensive linemen as well, along with May, Dixon, and Reef? Should also be noted, you might as well continue to recruit defensive linemen because it's so early. You never know, what can happen. Guy puts on so much weight, now he's a different position, or, decommitments are always a possibility. So get smart to continue to add players there. And it should be noted, how about Notre Dame, Chicago, Tim? They're continuing to add guys in there, in that important backyard for the Fighting Irish, so to speak. So yeah, Tim, thoughts on Chicago recruiting this 2025 class for Notre Dame so far?
Oh, it's outstanding. Anytime you get the best of the best in that area. The most impressive, part of this class, Mike, and we've talked about this before, is going down south.
Yeah.
How we're this far away from signing day, and they went out and they're getting the guys that they offered early in the South. And I love the fact that you and Kyle, have shown these guys visiting. All these guys have been to games this year, so they're coming up on their own dime from the South to South Bend, Indiana, to watch games, and that bodes really well for the future of locking these guys in, because obviously these guys down south all have big time offers. Yeah. So that's great news. Hitting south, and now it's starting to get into your backyard as you start to get that next patch of recruits coming here in the Midwest, and then obviously keep branching out in the South. We haven't touched on California yet, and they're always going to be hitting that area, and Texas, the way Marcus Freeman's been attacking Texas.
Yep, showing that national brand that is Notre Dame. Well, folks, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit that thumbs up on the video. You can do that if you're logged into a Google or YouTube account. Hit the thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join the nearly 25,000 Notre Dame fans. We are getting close to 25,000 on our YouTube channel. A quarter of 100,000. Our YouTube channel's really popped off these past couple years. So I appreciate you guys for being a part of it. If you're new, please subscribe to our channel so you can be a part of this blue and gold family. So yeah, hit that thumbs up, of course, folks. And as always, we will catch you next time.